Welcome to Calming Harp, the sounds of David's Psalms. I'm glad you've joined us for this brief moment we share together. I will be playing some of the music that has been brought out of the Psalms. My name is Steve Rees. I play the harp, and over the last several years I've been bringing the sounds of David's Psalms into recordings. You can find a lot of my music on my website, www.calmingharp.com. I have CDs available and MP3s. And you can go to YouTube. If you go to YouTube and then type in Peregrinati, Peregrinnatti, you will find hours of beautiful harp music that you can just play in the background and be calmed with the music that David may have played for his sheep at one time or another. So as we share this half hour, join me and enjoy the sounds of David's harp.
Well, good morning once again, and this is the 20th of May, and the year is moving along. So thank you for joining me again. I wanted to take this moment to this episode to consider the joy of the Lord. And I wanted to start out with Psalm chapter 5. To the choir master for the flutes, a psalm of David. Give ear to my words, O Yahweh, consider my groaning. Give attention to the sound of my cry, my King and my God, for to you do I pray. O Yahweh, in the morning you hear my voice, in the morning I prepare a sacrifice for you and watch. For you are not a God who delights in the wickedness. Evil may not dwell with you. The boastful shall not stand before your eyes. You hate all evildoers. You destroy those who speak lies. Yahweh abhors the bloodthirsty and deceitful man. But I, through the abundance of your steadfast love, will enter your house. I will bow down toward your holy temple in fear of you. Lead me, O Yahweh, in your righteousness because of my enemies. Make my way straight before me. For as there is no other in their mouth, no truth in their mouth, their inmost self is engraved, they flatter with their tongue. Make them bear their guilt, O God. Let them fall by their own counsels, because of the abundance of their transgressions. Cast them out, for they have rebelled against you. But let all who refuge in you rejoice. Let them ever sing for joy and spread your protection over them, that those who love your name may exult in you. For you bless the righteous, O Yahweh. You cover him with favor, as with a shield. I just keep thinking of how our Heavenly Father has been so good to us. And sometimes we need to stop and think about that. Sometimes we need to remind ourselves of how good he is. And the part here where David says to sing for joy, to celebrate. The word joy there is an interesting Hebrew word. It involves jumping up and down and clapping and yelling, and it reminds me of a football game or a baseball game where the crowd sees a touchdown or a home run and they go wild with joy and celebrate. And our Heavenly Father is inviting us. David, through his psalm, is inviting us to treat our Heavenly Father the same way. If we can scream and yell for a touchdown, can't we scream and yell for our Heavenly Father in all the ways that He's protected us and kept us and provided for us. And it's just amazing to me how so much of, quote, religion is so somber and so it's almost considered a sin if you become emotional in any way. And yet the Hebrew understanding of joy in our Heavenly Father is exactly the opposite. And so I have a couple songs I want to share with you. These I'm going to have Shirley, the ones that we recorded with Shirley, reading some of these scriptures along with them. The first one I wanted to share with you is one that so many people love. It's a hymn that's been around for a long time. It's called "How Great Thou Art." And I'm going to share that with you, and we'll come back for some more comments. But let's listen to the music and the narration.
I waited patiently for Yahweh. He turned to me and heard my cry. He lifted me out of the slimy pit, out of the mud and mire. He set my feet on a rock and gave me a firm place to stand. He put a new song in my mouth, a hymn of praise to our Yah. Many will see and fear and put their trust in Yahweh. Blessed is the man who makes Yahweh his trust, who does not look to the proud, to those who turn aside to false gods. Many, O Yahweh, my aloha, are the wonders you have done. The things you have planned for us no one can recount to you. Were I to speak and tell of them, they would be too many to declare. Sacrifice and offering you did not desire. My ears you have opened. Burnt offerings and sin offerings you did not require. Then I said, Here I am. I have come. In the scroll of the book it is written of me, I delight to do your will, O my Yah. Your Torah is written within my heart. I proclaim righteousness in the great assembly. I will not restrain my lips. As you know, O Yahweh, I have not hidden your righteousness within my heart. I speak of your faithfulness and salvation. I do not conceal your love and your truth from the great assembly. Do not withhold your mercy from me, O Yahweh. May your love and your truth always protect me. For troubles without number surround me. My sins have overtaken me, and I cannot see. They are more than the hairs of my head, and my heart fails within me. Be pleased, O Yahweh, to save me. O Yahweh, come quickly to help me. May all who seek to take my life be put to shame and confusion. May all who desire my ruin be turned back in disgrace. May those who say to me, Aha, aha, be appalled at their own shame. But may all who seek you rejoice and be glad in you. May those who love your salvation always say, Yahweh, be exalted. Yet I am poor and needy. May Aloha think of me. You are my help and my deliverer. Oh my Yah, do not delay.
How great is our God! He has been so faithful to us. And I just see in David's invitation for us to shout for joy, a way that we can return a little bit of our appreciation for all that he's done for us. If one of our loved ones were to come up with, and we had just give them a beautiful gift, and they go, "Oh, thank you very much." It kind of takes the joy out of it, doesn't it? But if we're, "Oh, that is so wonderful," our granddaughter, one of our granddaughters, well, actually both of them, are very good at this. Get a present for their birthday, and they go, "Oh, that is so cool! That is so special! Wow!" And it just totally warms your own heart to see them so appreciative of the gift. And our Heavenly Father, I believe, is the same way for us. That as He's given us all of these gifts, that we return that appreciation with that joy, and that here in Psalm 20. To the choir master, a psalm of David. May Yahweh answer you in the day of trouble. May the name of God, the God of Jacob, protect you. May he send you help from the sanctuary and give you support from Zion. May he remember all your offerings and regard with favor your burnt sacrifices. Selah. Stop and think about that. May he grant your heart's desire and fulfill all your plans. And here it is. May we shout for joy over our salvation, and in the name of God set up our banners. May Yahweh fulfill our petitions. Setting up banners, that just, one of the services that we go to fairly frequently has people that are with banners all through the worship service. And it's just really amazing to see those banners flying and the different colors, and just another way of expressing such joy for our Heavenly Father. Now I know that Yahweh saves his anointed. He will answer him from his holy heaven with the saving might of his right hand. Some trust in chariots and some in horses, but we will trust in the name of our Elohim, our God. They collapse and fall, but we rise and stand upright. O Yahweh, save the King. May he answer us when we call. Some trust in horses and some in chariots, but we will trust in the name of our God. It's interesting, when we were just reading in Deuteronomy, it's Joshua, where they, some of the people that wars that came against them, some of the armies came with chariots and horses. And God told them to destroy the chariots and the horses. And I was thinking, as we were reading that maybe our Heavenly Father, when he was dealing with Israel as they were conquering the land that they were being given, that he had them not keep the horses and chariots, because he knew that at some time down the road, if they had those horses and chariots, that's what they would be depending on instead of on him. And it's just a little lesson there, I think. Sometimes we get so used to depending on the things that are around us, our cars, our homes, our national army, or whatever, that we forget to trust in the name of our Heavenly Father. And so, just a little word to the wise: always remember who, in the final accounting of things, who is really responsible for keeping us and taking care of us and providing for us and protecting us, all of these things. That's what our Heavenly Father is to us. And so, and more, much more. So another song I wanted to do is I Exalt Thee, and it's another common hymn that we've all have sung at one time or another. And once again, Shirley's going to read some of the Psalms along and other verses along with it. And I just present that to you right here for your meditation and consideration.
An oracle is within my heart concerning the sinfulness of the wicked. There is no fear of God before his eyes, for in his own eyes he flatters himself too much to detect or hate his sin. The words of his mouth are wicked and deceitful. He has ceased to be wise and to do good. Even on his bed he plots evil. He commits himself to a sinful course and does not reject what is wrong. Your love, O Yahweh, reaches to the heavens, your faithfulness to the skies. Your righteousness is like the mighty mountains, your justice like the great deep. O Yahweh, you preserve both man and beast. How priceless is your unfailing love! Both high and low among men find refuge in the shadow of your wings. They feast on the abundance of your house. You give them drink from your river of delights. For with you is the fountain of life. In your light we see light. Continue your love to those who know you, your righteousness to the upright in heart. May the foot of the proud not come against me, nor the hand of the wicked drive me away. See how the evildoers lie fallen, thrown down, not able to rise. love, O Yahweh, reaches to the heavens, your faithfulness to the skies.
We exalt you, O Yah, among all the gods, because you're the only real God. All the other ones are fake. So I was just thinking how this idea of joy includes this idea of leaping, jumping, dancing, raising banners. It's interesting when David was bringing the Ark of the Covenant up to Jerusalem. It says he was dancing with all of his might, whirling and twirling. So much so that his wife, Michael, despised him. And she made fun of him. She said, you look silly out there. And David said, well, I'm worshiping my Father. I'm celebrating. I'm expressing my joy at bringing his Ark of the Covenant up to Jerusalem. I'm joyful. And if you don't want to be joyful, then maybe you won't have any kids. And it records that she didn't. Our Heavenly Father has done so much for us. And in these earthly terms, I think part of the problem, just like Oswald Chambers talks about the big R reality and the little r reality, because our Heavenly Father is in this realm that we don't actually have the visual sight of him. We tend to push him off to the background and then run off to a baseball game and start screaming our heads off when there's a home run, if it's our team, that is, or we catch a fly ball or whatever. And it just, once again, illustrates the difference between whether we're living in the reality of our Heavenly Father and his kingdom, or whether we're living in the reality of this world around us, this kingdom that is sadly, as we really consider it, falling apart. There's a whole lot of things wrong with the world around us. Speaking from here in the United States, we have a constitutional republic that is supposed to operate by the Constitution, and yet we seem to have forgotten leaders that have forgotten how the Constitution is supposed to work. We seem to have judges that put their personal opinions in front of what has been described in the law. And in so doing, we seem to have different levels of judgment depending on who we are or who we know. And these are the kind of things that David is referring to, that it looks like they're succeeding, but he continues to remind us over and over again that they will not succeed ultimately. Our Heavenly Father is still in charge. He's still in control. And they aren't going to get by with it for too long. And in realizing that should make us leap for joy more than anything. And I have to admit, I tend to be careful. I don't want to look foolish in front of people. But the Apostle Paul, along the way, he said, everybody's a fool for somebody or someone or something. Whose fool are you? Who are you willing to be a fool for? In 1 Corinthians, he says that our Heavenly Father doesn't choose the wise things of this world, because his wisdom is wiser than the world's wisdom. His strength is stronger than the world's strength. His nobility is much more noble than any nobility that can come out of this earth. And so he chooses us, the simple ones. And then he says, why do I choose the simple ones? So that no flesh will glory. Our Heavenly Father deserves all praise, all honor. He deserves for us to be in joy. And I just challenge myself and you with that this week. So be blessed.
So I hope you've enjoyed our time together. Stay tuned, as I say. Little pun. I have many more songs to share with you. I have more to share about how this all comes together. And I pray that you will share and help people, especially those you see stressed, especially in these times that we're going through. Bring people to this calming and this peace and this rest that this beautiful music of the Psalms of David brings to each of our lives. Thank you for listening. Hope to see you next week. Many, many blessings to you all today.